The job market is absolutely brutal right now. You have people responding to thousands of job postings on Indeed or LinkedIn and not getting a single response. You have other people getting a response, getting interviews. They're like 5 or 6 rounds. At the end, they just get rejected or get ghosted. Check out some stories from these people.
If you're ever feeling bad about the current job market, just look at this. I've literally applied to thousands of jobs on Indeed.
So I applied to 346 jobs this summer, and this is how it went. So I got ghosted by 219 and rejected by 115. But I did manage to get 32 interviews, which is absolutely insane. Shout out to Prep AI. And I also managed to get 19 second round interviews. There was also a lot of third round, fourth round interviews, but I ended up with a total of 6 final round interviews. In the end, I received 2 job offers, accepted one, and declined one. A lot of people have been asking me where I've been applying, and I've been applying on an app called Prep AI, where all you have to do is literally swipe right and it'll automatically apply for you with a tailored cover letter and resume. This has most definitely made job hunting so much easier.
I'm going to be absolutely honest with you. As somebody that was laid off as a DevOps engineer back in February, I have absolutely no desire to be a DevOps engineer ever again in the corporate world. I don't want to do it. I have enjoyed the career that I had and the time that I had and the skills that I've gained and the experiences that I got to experience and the money that I made. It was amazing. But what I will say is that as somebody that's been laid off twice, I'm not going to give corporate a third time to lay me off again. Now, I understand that there's no guarantee because obviously I have DevOps skills and I could go back into corporate again, but there's no guarantee that I wouldn't be let go. And I think that's why I'm at a stage in my life where I'm kind of having like a last hurrah moment where I want to give my all to building Sensen because it's an idea that I've had on my heart for a very long time. And one thing that I've hated about working in corporate is that corporate puts you in a box that you have to fit. And I genuinely don't care about meeting the KPIs for these people that have the power to literally make me unemployed.
So I got laid off today. I'm a registered nurse. I've been a registered nurse for 3 years. I've been a home health nurse for the past year. Alongside being a home health nurse, I've also been a healthcare coach remotely. A few weeks ago, I was laid off from my second job as a healthcare coach due to Medicaid cuts. Today, I was laid off from my agency due to my client being cut from Medicaid. Mind you, this is healthcare, one of the most lucrative, job secure fields that you could possibly have. And here we are having nurses and doctors being laid off left to right under this administration. And if you ask me, this is only the beginning. If we don't do something now, things are going to get worse after this. You have groceries increase, gas increase, bills increase, unemployment increase. This is crazy. This is crazy, and something really needs to be done.
Okay, so my severance package for my last job is ending in 2 days. 2 days, and I'm trying not to get too stressed about it. I definitely have a lot of feelings, but I'm not trying to let anxiety get the best of me. I'm just trying to have faith and trust God that, the resources will be provided to sustain my lifestyle in San Francisco, a very expensive city, but I've been saving, I budget my money really well, and I have my side hustles. So I'm just grateful that as of right now, I have the resources to be here and live here, but, who knows what opportunities will come my way, and I'm just trying to stay positive about everything.
Who else just can't get a job in 2025? I have been unemployed for the past 3 years, and I've spent the last 2 years trying to get a job. And tell me why some of the jobs I applied for, when they didn't respond to me 7 months ago, they respond to me now. Like, just to throw it in my face that I'm never getting a job. If you got a job out there, you lucky, bro. You're so lucky.
Alright, so everybody's saying, oh, everybody's hiring, nobody wants to work, da-da-da-da-da. I have applied to literally hundreds of jobs over the last few weeks. I've been without work for 3 weeks now, and I have been non-stop applying to literally everywhere, and have yet to find a single job in my area. Of course, there are places that are hiring for $12 an hour, $13 an hour, but I can't survive off of that. So it's not that people don't want to work, it's that people don't want to work for pennies. People don't want to work to to not be able to pay their bills. People don't want to work to not be able to feed their kids. I just cannot understand why it is this hard to find a job right now. Like, I cannot keep going on like this without any work, and I just can't afford to, and I literally don't know what I'm gonna do. And I am desperately searching for a job, and I can't find one. So, wish me luck on my job searching.
Searching for a software engineering job in this market has been an absolute ass. Software engineer for 4 years now, and I thought that would give me like at least some clout in the job market, which I will say, it has been pretty easy for me to get interviews. I'm pretty good at networking and getting interviews, and I'll make a separate video on that. The biggest difference I see now versus the other past 2 times that I've job switched in tech is that this time around, everything is so competitive. So even if you get an interview, the caliber to which you need to perform in order to get the job is like so much higher. And companies know that they have the pick of the litter, and so they're just gonna hold out until like someone performs perfectly. Also, on top of that, when you're interviewing for these big tech companies that are also doing layoffs at the same time, you are also competing against these people that are already internally at the company that have been laid off and just looking for a new role within. And not to toot my own horn, but I think I interview pretty well. Like, of all the interviews I've ever done, like, I've never really fucked one up really bad. But the technical bar on the coding rounds is really high right now. Or maybe I'm just a big dummy. No, it is hard. And the other annoying part is that, like, if I answer the question with like 90% correct versus someone who's answering something 100% correct, there is really functionally no difference. There's like no indication that the person who answered 100% correct is going to be better on the job. Like, can't you just realize that I'm not stupid? And the other annoying part is that these leak code questions aren't even a good indicator of whether you're going to be good on the job or not.
If you're in tech right now, you're not having a good time because you have so many people laid off in the past year or so, and they're flooding the job market with similar skill sets and coding skills. So you're competing with everyone out there, and the coding questions are getting really tough. It's harder and harder to find a good tech job these days. And a lot of people think it's only going to get tougher from here with the development of AI taking a lot of these entry-level coding jobs. So I have been seeing a trend of coders actually switching to blue-collar work, like trying to become an electrician or a plumber.
The job market is so bad that when I went to Washington, D.C., I dropped off copies of my resume to my state representatives and was like, hey, can you help me find a job? There are no jobs in your district, and half the postings you see are ghost postings. If you run the state, can you help me get a job?
It's not you. There are no more jobs. And the few that there are, you're competing with 5 million other people, and they're requiring that you offer up your firstborn and already come with 45 years of experience.
Anyone else just scared out of their minds with what's going on in the United States with respect to the job market and the overall economy? Because I am feeling my soul leaving my body every day when I see more and more people I know open to work and struggling, and houses going up for sale all around me. And I just went to a jewelry shop to try to sell some stuff I inherited from my dad, his rings. One ring that was extremely important to him that he'd understand given the circumstances, but it's just like, I wonder how much I'm about to lose in the grand scheme of things, in this whole situation. Being in the U.S., being in an industry that's really being rocked by tariffs, not really getting any opportunities outside of it because my experience is so heavily in the industry. There's a lot of hiring freezes or listings where they either ghost you or just say, oh, sorry, we've gone with a different candidate or whatever. And it's just like, it's really discouraging. It's really scary. I feel like that scene in Independence Day where they barely make it out. That's like me trying to go to Albania. It's like, boop, but like Will Smith and Jeff Goldblum like sneaking out of that ship at the very end. It's going to be a very tight exit. And then who the hell knows what I'll do in Albania. It's not like I'll be able to find a job there, and if I do, it's not going to be for the kind of money I used to make, but it's all relative, right? It's all perspective. Someone tell me like, it's gonna be okay, and you just need to be optimistic and not pessimistic. And it's like, that's really hard to do when it's been like ingrained in you the entire course of your life in the United States. Like, oh, you gotta go to college, then you gotta get a good job, then you gotta get a house and car, and you don't want to be a loser flipping burgers and minimum wage. But it's just like, oh man, hard not to feel totally defeated in the moment, especially when you're like pawning off your parents' jewelry and shit. Very strange times we live in. And I did rehome a cat last week. I'm about to rehome another this week, and I don't know. This is, I'm sure, going to be a time in my life where I'm like, oh, that's where I was really tested and I survived, and I'm so proud of myself. But man, I wish I could like fast forward through this part, because I feel like I'm going to throw up every day. Or I just like don't want to wake up. You know, like I just don't want to wake up and have to deal with any of this. Not like never wake up again. But anyway, thanks for listening to me have a nervous breakdown. I'm sure people are going to be like, oh, you fucking princess, you don't know how hard it really is, and boo-hoo for you. And it's like, yeah, I guess. But still doesn't feel good, y'all.
This is a PSA for all you hiring companies out there. If you require that that person comes to the office 2 out of 5 days or 3 out of 5 days a week, that is not a remote position, that is hybrid. Secondly, if you require that the person lives in the surrounding area, that is not a remote job. A remote job means I could be in bumfuck Kilimanjaro and I can sign in through my VPN and work for you. That is a remote job. A remote job does not mean, oh, in order for us to consider your candidacy, you have to live within 30 to 50 miles. That is not remote. That is not remote. Thank you.
Is anyone else struggling to get a job right now? Like, I'm genuinely curious. I literally wake up every fucking day and I apply to multiple jobs on Indeed. And I don't know if it's because I'm using Indeed, but I don't hear shit back for any of these jobs. Like, I literally don't hear shit back. Why is it impossible to find a fucking job right now? I'm seriously so over it. I wake up every single day and I have nothing to do and nothing to look forward to. I have no fucking routine. It's like I wake up just to scroll on TikTok or lay in bed and feel fucking worthless. And then the days that I do get up and get ready, what am I getting ready for? To record myself to post on TikTok? Like, I'm getting sick and tired of it. It's low-key depressing, and it's fucking with my mental health a little bit, which I don't want it to, because who wants that? It's just really exhausting, and it's really fucking annoying that I'm spending all this time, energy, and effort into getting a job, and I don't hear shit back from these jobs. And I'm applying for things that I'm qualified for. Like, I'm applying for things that I have experience in. I just don't understand. Like, I literally, I have changed my resume multiple times. I've edited it. I've done all these different things to try to get a job, and it's like I don't hear shit back. And then the one job I had an interview for, and they told me I had the job, but then told me I had to wait for the offer letter and all this background check shit and credit. Another thing, why are they fucking checking your credit now to get a job? Why do they have to do a credit check? That's weird as fuck. Anyways, I have not heard shit back from that job either, and that was a week ago. And I've already messaged them and called them so many times. I don't want to be annoying and keep messaging like, hey, what's up? But also, they still have the job posted on Indeed, and they're only hiring one position. One role, one position, and apparently I have it, but the job posting is still up. So I'm like, bitch, that's not my job. And if it is, why are you still taking interviews? Like, why? Why are you still letting people apply? So yeah, it's just really stressful and annoying, and I don't understand why I'm having such a hard time to find a job. I've been applying to jobs for months, and not a single thing has came my way. Like, the one thing that did, I had the interview for, and then nothing. Crickets. It's really annoying. It's really fucking depressing. I want to be able to make money. I want to have a routine. I want to meet new people. I'm almost 20 fucking sticks. Like, I should not be a stay-at-home daughter. I really should not. It makes me feel like shit. It makes me feel like it makes me feel worthless. I just don't understand why is it so hard to find a job right now. And does anyone else fucking relate? Am I the only person going through this? Is it just because, like, I'm not, like, I don't know what I'm doing wrong? Oh, and also, side note that doesn't really relate to this, but the people commenting on my old TikToks about the job that I posted out, they're like, you should delete these. My name is not connected to this account. I use a random fucking email. My number's not connected. I have fucking 700 followers. You're not gonna see it. So please shut the fuck up. Thank you.
Guys, this is really hard for me to say, but I feel like I have to reach that point where I kind of need to ask for help and maybe look into different government assistance fundings that are provided. If you've been following my page for a while, you know that I've been struggling to find a job, and living in the Bay Area is really expensive. My rent is about over $3,000 each month, and I got laid off back in May, and I have been trying so hard to find a job, but it hasn't been working out in my favor. With that being said, my savings can only go so much. Like, I feel like I need to start planning out for the next couple months because I don't know what's gonna happen. So if you're currently in California and you receive any government benefits and aids, what is it like? What do you receive? How's the process? And yeah, just like any tips or advice to get over this hard bump in my life until I can get a job and stand on my two own feet again. But thanks for listening, and yeah.
There was no other place to be than a federal worker come inauguration and really seeing change happen in real time. I'm Anna, a fired Fed, and I'm starting a series, Things You Should Know About CDC, and the tea is piping hot. I mean, I'm smiling and kind of laughing about it now, but it was not funny. And to be honest, I cried pretty much every day in January and into February because everything that was happening. So again, I'm at a different place now, but now I can share.
Well, time for the life update. As some of you know, I was laid off yesterday from Microsoft. I will continue looking for a job in the field. It was a little iffy. They're calling it a termination based on things that happened in 2023 for a manager I haven't worked for in over a year. So it's a layoff, but without severance, because they even were like, yeah, you can just apply for another job while we're in this meeting if you wanted to. I mean, not exact words, but that was the gist of it. Me and my manager were staring at each other like, because my manager found out 5 minutes before I did. Any case, I'm okay. Filed for unemployment. I've got some amount in savings. At least with one barn, my lessons are all paid for in like 6-month increments. So I can at least keep writing until June. For the wedding, well, our rings I will be paying for once my cashed out stocks hit. We've got a pretty good amount in savings, and I should qualify for unemployment because it's not like, I did anything questionable. I was even like, can I even get it if I am fired? And it's like, yeah, literally, it's not your fault that you were fired. Was kind of the gist of it. It was like, okay.
It's been almost 4 weeks since I've been laid off. Now, the layoff itself didn't bother me. It was more so how I was treated during the process. But it's all good because God always makes a way. I'm going to take this time to focus 100% on myself, my health, and my content. For almost 3 years, I put in so much work for this company. I let go of myself. I packed on about 20 pounds, so it's time for me to get back in the gym, and it's time for me to get it right. Now, even though I'm feeling a lot better about the layoff, I'm still dealing with a lot of BS. So as I mentioned in my previous video, I applied for unemployment, but I was denied in the state of Nevada. Come to find out, this job has been reporting all of my wages to the state of Florida, where they're LLC'd out of. So I ended up getting approved for unemployment in the state of Florida, and guess what? $275 a fucking week. So absolutely not. So I've already put in a wage claim, but also that was one major violation on the company's end, so I'm still seeking legal assistance. So I've been pushing and we go get there. It's been a little bit tough. I've seen a lot of people online talking about how hard it is to get an employment lawyer in the state of Nevada, but I promise you we go get there. So I did get an attorney to go over the severance agreement, which I still haven't signed yet, but we go get there. On top of that, it's almost week 4 of my layoff, and today I'm just getting paid out for my vacation time. But like I said before, God always makes a way. I'm going to take this time to focus back on myself and focus on my content. I got a YouTube channel that has over 20,000 subscribers that I need to get back on track on, and just making content makes me happy. So I'm going to get back to that. So if you're facing a layoff right now, just know that everything is going to be good, man. Just take that time, focus on yourself, do a little bit of soul searching. Everything is going to be all right. Peace and many blessings to all y'all out there.
Unemployment, no one tells you when you're unemployed that like the heartbreak that you have from jobs. You go to interviews, you like love the role, love the job, you feel like you're like, I'm so good. Then they're like, yeah, no, we're good. We're all set with you. And you're like, and then you feel like literally worthless. Talked to my friend Tori the other day. I'm like, I've applied to so many jobs and I had maybe like 4 interviews at this point, 4 or 5, 4. And then you just like feel like you're like worthless. Like all this time I've spent in my career, the last X amount of years, like excelling at roles, I literally feel like silly that I'm just not getting anything. Like, am I just like worthless? Like you feel like, okay, like maybe I'm bad. Like, am I bad?
Why is it so hard to find a job in software engineering in 2023? If we look at the chart of open tech jobs right now, we're down around 62% from last year. In May 2022, we had around 500,000 open positions, and now we only have around 178,000. It costs a lot of money to source and hire new engineers, and in an economic downturn, companies generally don't want to waste money. I graduated from Georgia Tech in 2022 and got a job with Meta right out of school. But if I had graduated in 2021 or 2020, I wouldn't have been as lucky. Timing is everything, so don't feel bad if you don't have a job yet. Certain factors are just outside of your control. Instead, focus on the things that you can control, like lead code, projects, and connecting with people for potential referrals. And also, don't be as picky with the companies you're applying to. There are plenty of companies that don't have as much clout as big tech, for example, but still pay in the 6 figures. I talk a lot about how luck is a big factor in success, and timing is a big part of that luck. If you're curious how to put yourself in the best possible position for when the job market picks back up, follow my page for more advice.
I agree with this person wholeheartedly. Sometimes you can't see these things as your personal failure, not having a job. You really have to consider the factor of luck. So like what this person said, for example, if you graduated during the COVID economy, like 21 or 22, the job market was actually pretty good coming out of COVID. A lot of people were doing a lot of hiring. So it might have been not that hard to find a job then. Compared to the job market we have now, we have arguably one of the tough job markets in the past decade. And it's not your personal failure. It's a lot of big macro events. For instance, AI taking a lot of entry-level positions, and with the tariffs and just instability in the world, and the fact that a lot of companies did a lot of overhiring during COVID. So now they're kind of staying dormant and not trying to hire anyone. So all we can do is keep trying and develop our skills and stay positive.